Pocklington Canal Circular Trail, such an engaging and magnificent trail. Over the bank holiday weekend, with a group of friends, we descended on a small town called Pocklington in Yorkshire, United Kingdom, also known as God's Own County, Britain's largest county. My journey started off from the town centre, past two busy roundabouts before going through Allerthorpe. Once I got to Allerthorpe, a very small quintessential English village, I gradually made my way to the woodlands. There was a pub nearby, but I was determined not to be sidetracked. I enjoyed my stroll through the quiet village, but my attention was caught by two lovely horses that were sheltered from the early morning sun. The weather forecast for the day was a bright morning, and surprisingly the skies kept their promise as I enjoyed the amazing views of the nearby fields. After leaving the village, the trail became rather rough and the road was full of gravel and quite dusty. The icing on the cake was it became quiet and I was left to my own vices until a group of loud dog walkers were within earshot. I came across a policeman helmet, which is a large annual plant native to the Himalayan. Via human introduction, is now present across much of the northern hemisphere. The woodland floor was blanketed in lush green undergrowth with occasionally fallen trees that were covered in fungus. The blackberries looked juicy and appealing, only to be put off by their spines and bristles. The terrain was flat, which was gentle on my knees. There were multiple paths within the woods, and I decided to stick to my map. I needed to stretch my legs, but I'm not certain what possessed me to choose the longest and toughest trail in Pocklington. At this point in time, all my attention was fixed on finishing the Canal Circular Trail. Adjacent to the trail were some farm fields, and I needed to satisfy my curiosity. This was a welcome interruption to the dense vegetation in the nearby woods. Back in the woods, you cannot miss people's creativity, as someone was having too much fun. The beautiful early morning sunshine was permeating through the green foliage, providing much needed precious warmth in the sea of green. The woods were stunning, peaceful, and the collection of the pine trees was a treat to the eyes. The birds were tweeting in harmony, the chorus of good morning as I walked along. Against my best judgment, I decided to carry on, a decision I would regret later. It was pointless turning back halfway through the journey. Turning off the main road, I went through some fields which gave me a chance to explore my surroundings. Surprisingly, the trail took me through some farmland which had designated public footpaths with good signage. Not straying away from the map was crucial, as there was a fine line between getting lost and getting back home on time. The red poppy brightened up my trek, as they were amazing to look at. They thrive in areas of disturbed soil and was often abundant in agriculture fields before the advent of herbicides. Since World War I, it has been used in the Commonwealth as a symbol of remembrance for fallen soldiers. I must say I was lucky, as most of the trail was dry and I did not encounter any path full of mud. With hindsight, I spread myself out too thin. I embarked on the 17.4 kilometer circular trail. From my app and previous background checks, it was going to take me 4 hours and a half, so I had to brace myself. Finally, I got to Pocklington Canal. My hike was tipsy-turvy as I started from the opposite end. Never mind. The bottom line was to cover the entire length of the trail. At this point in time, I was worried the rains were going to come down by the bucketful, and I summoned my legs to get on with it, only to be disappointed. They had had enough. After 12 kilometers of relentless trekking, they must have been exhausted. Right ahead of me was a narrow boat. You could hear the engine rattling away before seeing it. It was full of sightseers who were enjoying their ride on the canal. I waited for a few minutes to watch the swing bridge spring into action. What an engineering marvel. It was slickly done by the skipper or his assistant. Not walking very fast, I dragged my legs to the next spot, and I realized how charming the plants by the canal were. I stole a second glance at the flowers, watching the bee which had taken a shine to it. I walked towards Church Bridge, which is a road bridge over the canal in Melbourne, and it is a Grade 2 listed building. Next was Warburg Bridge, another Grade 2 listed building in Thornton. It's constructed in bricks and stone. Ahead was Warburg Lock. Locks are devices used for raising and lowering boats between stretches of water at different levels on a canal or a river. With my legs being awkward at the thought of walking fast, I painfully made it through the next spot. Progress was agonizing and unnecessarily slow. My path was pleasantly devoid of traffic, and I enjoyed the occasional squirrels which were playing hide and seek in the woods. The placard reads, "You're standing opposite Bilby Arm." My apologies, I'll not entertain you with the detailed history of this place. Coats Bridge is another bridge along the canal. Pocklington Canal has 4 road bridges, 9 locks and 7 swing bridges. A well-equipped canal to ease waterway travel, but I must admit it's a lot of hard work for the boat owners. Probably I was starving as my attention was being drawn towards these wild berries. It's approximately 3 hours since I set off, and I had a chance to reflect. Maybe it was too much of a great idea to embark on a 17-kilometer trail, but I was too proud to admit that to myself, so I pressed on. It was also daft of me not to carry any drinking water or carry a waterproof jacket. These are basic things for any hiker. I must be ashamed of myself. Well, enough of self-bashing, and let me concentrate on finishing the hike ahead. I came across a few locks in ruins, and they had been reclaimed by nature. Giles Lock was one of them. Thank you for coming along this trek. I hope you enjoyed it. Till next time.